Welcome to the Tomsic Analysis with David Tomsic.
For those of you that don't know, it was Ronald Reagan who first declared war on the middle class. Now, what's interesting about that is most people who voted for him were themselves middle class. So why would people vote against their best interests? Hi, I'm David Tomsic. It's December 5th, 2024, just 20 days away from Christmas. Okay, so why would people vote against what's best for them? It really comes down to the problem with America today. See, America wants things easy. They believe in heroes. They want a hero. They want a legend. They want someone to look up to. TV and movies show this all the time. The Avengers. All these heroes. Many of them flawed, but still out to help you. Now, this couldn't be farther from the truth in American politics, but people believe it. Ronald Reagan is still considered a hero, a legend. He personally took down the Berlin Wall and forced the Soviet Union to collapse. He also fired all the air traffic controllers. And of course, from their narrative, that was the right thing to do. Now, maybe they did break the law. They had to go back to work within 48 hours, and they didn't. But Reagan couldn't wait to fire them because his war was against unions. That's right. Why unions? See, unions are the safety net for the American citizen, for the American working man and woman. They help provide better wages and better benefits, but he destroyed that. And even today, unions pretty much are non-existent because of what Ronald Reagan did. And no one that followed him changed that at all. Now, let me give you some numbers here. See, Donald Trump, right off the bat, can be likened to Ronald Reagan. Donald Trump, bigger, more bombacious, and of course, a reality star in his own right. Donald Trump is a legend to many people. He forced you to believe that because he makes sure he promotes himself first and foremost. But I digress. Now, Donald Trump used what Ronald Reagan would have called Reaganomics, trickle-down economics, as we would say today. Oh, you don't know what trickle-down economics is? It's when rich people eat their food, and all the crumbs from their mouth and from their sandwich and from their table fall down to the basement floor where we can gorge ourselves on the leftovers, on the crumbs. Okay? That's trickle-down economics. Donald Trump is just as guilty of using it as Ronald Reagan was, and every president in between did as well. Now, Trump's going to take it to the next level. Now, his first 4 years, Donald Trump had a tax cut. He promised me and you $4,000. I never got that. In fact, what I got was an average of $9 a week. The top 0.1% of the country, the richest of the rich, got $253,000. Okay? Why is that? Let me backtrack. Oligarchs run this country. They run this country and have for many decades. You just haven't seen as many of them up front as you do today under Donald Trump, who's filled his whole cabinet and everybody he works with billionaires, okay? Or should I say those who work for him. Now, Reagan also destroyed, as I mentioned, the unions. He was not good for the working class. You see, there's no economic parity without unions. Those of you that have bought the narrative and you were sold and took it hook, line, and sinker, that unions are so bad and evil, that they're crooks, that everybody is lazy, no one wants to work. Those of you should be ashamed, because it was those that worked for unions that made the standard of living you have today. That's right. You wouldn't have had the wages or the benefits you had today without the work of unions at the beginning of unionization. But Ronald Reagan destroyed that, and so has every president since, and this one we have today, the one that's going to take power January 20th, will do the same thing. You see, these tax cuts are for the rich. They were never for you. They give you enough of a bone to make you happy, to think you got something. I got a tax cut. Meanwhile, the tax cuts we did get only hurt the entire country, hurt us today. So what good was it? Because you see, they have no other tricks up their sleeve except tax cuts. No one's ever going to do the right thing. So Reagan was the first guy. He killed the New Deal. Now we have people taking up where he left off. So let me give you some interesting wage data. from the Social Security Administration. From the year 2000 to 2024, this year, total wages are up by 40%. So in 24 years, wages for you and me went up 40%. Meanwhile, corporate profits have gone up 365%. Billionaires pay an average of 9% or less as their basic tax rate. Now, Bill Gates, and everybody loves Bill Gates, he said that 1/3 of his income should go to taxes. He says the proper tax rate for the rich should be around 62%. Now, under Roosevelt, the average tax rate was 79%. And really, you go back and look at the data, it worked out pretty well. The rich people still made money. But today, they make a lot more because the oligarchs have taken over. They're going to take the money, wealth redistribution. I've said this in every video, wealth redistribution. No one seems to care. And they vote for Donald Trump, the big wealth distribution king. But it's going to get worse from here. See, Trump plans to dismantle the federal bureaucracy and to restructure all the agencies. Now, he's got two axemen that he's brought on, free of charge, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Now, Vivek ran for president against Trump. He's getting a little post here to go cut what he wants to cut in the federal government. He wants to cut 75% of the bureaucracy. Now, many people hear this all the time. It's been beat on Fox News that the federal government's out of control. They hire too many people. All these are partisan people, and they're stealing your money, and they're destroying our culture and our America. Well, hold on. Hold on, Fox News, and everybody who thinks that. The number of federal government employees is roughly the same today as it was in the late 1960s. I confirm this. Even though the U.S. population has grown by over 60% since then, the federal workforce has shrunk as a percentage of the total U.S. population, even though the total of number of people working for the government has remained relatively stable. So Donald Trump's axe boys, who could care less about you or those people, he wants to take the federal bureaucracy from 2.87 million, he wants to reduce it by 75%. Now, of course, whether this happens or not, we'll see. That would take 2.1 million people out of the workforce. Now, again, who's going to do those jobs? They're claiming there's no real work being done in these bureaucracies. I don't think that's true. I've known people that worked in them, and they do work. If there's problems, that should be taken care of within the group, within the administration. But you don't want to throw out the bathwater and the baby at the same time. But that's what these guys want to do. Their goal is to destroy the American government as it is today. That way, the Donald Trump can promote and put into place in these positions people he wants, people that are loyal to him. All power will then be siphoned all the way to the top, all the way to the president, Donald Trump. Now, these two billionaires really don't have any intergovernmental experience at all. None. Oh, wait a minute. Elon Musk does. His companies have pretty much received only tens of billions of dollars through federal contracts and programs. Another way to look at this is virtually all his net worth can be traced back to federal government help. But he's going to be in charge. They claim this bureaucracy is killing everybody, is hurting everybody. I would venture to say that's not true. But it's been promoted for so long, people believe it. Just listen to Newsmax and Fox News, the fascist news network. They will tell you how evil the federal bureaucracy is. All these demon-possessed people running our country. I'm better. Understand this, America. The oligarchs could care less about you. Donald Trump could care less about you. He used you. He used Christian nationalists and evangelicals. He used all these groups to destroy his opponent. He used them to build power. Did you hear about the U.S. Steel deal with Japan? Here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, he supported it. His people supported it. They went to his rallies and cheered for him. And now he's tweeted and saying he's going to be totally against it. The people in the union are a little upset. But shame on you for believing this guy. He's a known liar. and again lied. See, the oligarchs are not like you and me. They look at the world differently, and of course they would. It's natural, but it's not healthy. Oligarchs see us as useless eaters. They're taking control now. And who, of course, are the first people on the list they want to attack? The poor, the homeless, minorities, immigrants. People that they think don't deserve to be in this country. They don't deserve to have help. They don't want to spend any money on safety nets. They don't want to see unions asking for better wages and better working conditions. They want to pilfer this country, and they will. And I know many people disagree with this viewpoint, but more and more people are realizing that they made a mistake if they voted for Donald Trump. Now, this video isn't political. It's just trying to put out before you a reality that's been in front of us for decades, that we refuse to see because we're just given enough crumbs to keep us satisfied. It's time to realize that we're on our own. There's no one coming to help us, that the road to tyranny is paved with good intentions. But these people that are taking charge now, only one power. We must join together. That's all the time I have. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. I'll be on a live stream tonight at 7 p.m. I hope you're there. Remember, Jesus is the answer, and Jesus is the reason for this season. God bless you, and I'll see you next time right here on the Tom Sick Analysis.
Thank you for watching the Tom Sick Analysis. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video, and keep an eye out for our next video.